Welcome to the Young Diplomats TV show. My name is Valentina Uchebu. Today on the show, we'll be speaking on foreign relations and diplomacy. And we have an amazing guest, a seasoned guest on the show today, along with my young leaders. We're going to go on a break right now, and when we come back, we will dive into the conversations. Africa is rising. A new era of opportunity and responsibility is here. Join the Africa Young Diplomats project and equip yourself with knowledge and skills to shape Africa's narrative and assert its global influence. I'm Valentina Ofiepri Uchebu, CEO of the Africa Young Diplomats project and host of the Young Diplomats TV show. We'll take you on a journey of discovery, empowerment, and action. Be part of a movement that's changing the game. Gain knowledge, understand the facts, and take action to promote Africa's interests and make a difference. Join us. Together, let's make Africa great and secure a prosperous future for all through enlightenment. Watch the Young Diplomats TV show on Universal TV Africa. Empower yourself, empower Africa. You're welcome back to the show on Universal TV Africa. This is the Young Diplomats TV show, and my name remains Valentina Uchebu. With me, I have my young leaders. I have Ojonua, Peniel, Heylanda, Aisha, and Derek. You're all welcome. And right beside me, I have our guest, Mr. Ayo Akinwale of the Brightak Schools. He's an expert in civic and government. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So our topic for today is on foreign relations and diplomacy. And I know that's one aspect that you're very conversant with as an expert in government and civics.
Yeah.
And then in our last episode, we were also speaking about how students need to dive into these kinds of, learning to get equipped for leadership. Now, what do you think is the role that Africa can play in global governance?
Okay. We all know that global governance is a necessity, and a tree does not make a forest. So it's now foreign policy relation and diplomacy is now a new ball game entirely, and everybody must be ready to play the game. And as Africa continent, we have a role to play. Number one, we must ensure that we all have our unity. Are you getting established in Africa at first? So we can have a one voice outside there.
Yes.
Because in a situation where we are not together as a continent, as a country, where we are still discriminating against ourselves, they are not going to take us serious outside the continent. Because the stability of a man begins from home. You understand? The society begins from home. So that is first thing we need to do. Number two, we must ensure that our regional, our internal crisis, which has to do with some are ethnic, some are economic challenges, are first embraced by ourselves. These are because it's whatever we are doing here that is going to determine what we are going to do when it comes to international organization relating with other countries, other continents. You understand? We also have that role to come together as one single voice now to ensure that Africa has a place to play when it comes to international policies and relations. So we have a lot to do. Another thing when it comes to our economic relation, like the role of ECOWAS, like the role of UNO, ECOWAS, African Union, and the rest, we must ensure that we come together as one. You understand? It is our stability in Africa that determines our action outside Africa.
Sure.
Are you getting me now? So our role in Africa now is to ensure that we've come together as one, that we have a game to play. We have work to do to stabilize Africa first, to ensure that what is our goal, what's our rate, what is our interest as Africa? What do we intend to achieve by relating with other countries outside Africa? Are you getting me now? So when we get this perspective in the right order, then we can push outside the continent. Then by then we know that, we are going there for something that we want to achieve. Then Africa become a better place. We have challenges, but we must definitely do something to get over it.
So from what you have explained extensively about, there's need for African integration. And we have also seen that a lot of African countries have their walls up. The African Union now is trying to push for one, what's called continental passports. How do you think it will be embraced? Because, if we say, let's have that integration, will everybody accommodate it? What's your take on that?
That's why it's very important when the one voice comes out first in Africa. When we all see ourselves as one.
Is it possible?
Nothing is impossible. It's very possible.
There are a lot of ethnic groups. Even in Nigeria, we have over
200.
We have over 200 ethnic groups. So you can imagine how many we have in Africa. Do you think that's something that is...
Ethnic group ethnic group can be national challenges, but they are not of international challenges. We have our differences in Nigeria, our differences between all the ethnic group in Nigeria. We are not talking about it in Ghana. You understand? We look at the major challenges in Nigeria, maybe security, economic challenges. We don't talk about ethnic group. So when it comes to having one single visa now or wherever in Africa, it has to do with our leaders. It has to do with our leaders projecting Africa. Let's see ourselves as one. What happened recently, the xenophobia in Africa, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So tomorrow now, if there's going to be one passport, one visa in Africa, one passport in Africa, then some Nigerians, they are likely to stand that they are not ready to unite with South Africa. Because either you like it or not, South Africa, we were once there for South Africa. Nelson Mandela ran out of the country, came to Nigeria. We aboard him. We took a lot of South African citizens, gave them scholarship, housed them during racial apartheid policy in South Africa. In fact, one of their former presidents, I think it was B.U. Botha in 1970 something, talking about a black shouldn't lead in South Africa. That black doesn't know how to lead. It was documented. It was a letter. Are you getting me now? But Nigeria made sure that they fought apartheid policy in South Africa till their last breath, until they were sanctioned in Commonwealth, ensure that they regained their freedom, brought back Nelson Mandela, produced the first South African president. But today, we have xenophobia attacking South Africa, attacking not any other country, Nigerians. So it shouldn't be. So when we settle all these some of the challenges, regional challenges, then we can come together. Are you getting me now that, now we can come together, let's have a visa. You can set an example of a Schengen, passport, sorry. Yes. You can set an example of Schengen visa now, that it's an European something that for non-other African countries, you can travel to about many other countries with one of these things, with one passport. So if we can get to that level, but at first we must first see ourselves as one, because if there is no internal stability, there can never be peace outside there.
Thank you very much. So with my leaders of tomorrow, he said one of the problems, that is bringing about this lack of integration is the leaders of today. So you're the leaders of tomorrow. Aisha, how do you see this happening? Do you think it is possible?
Yes, I feel like it's very possible for all African nations to unite as one and put themselves out there in order to strengthen our international ties with other countries. I feel like it's very possible.
Okay. Heylanda, the ethnic issue, we are very diversified in Africa. One culture cannot tolerate the other culture, things like that. So it also has an underlying, effect to this same integration. Do you think with this diversity that Africa can come together?
Not really, per se. Just my personal, reasons. But, I feel like because of how many ethnic groups there are in Nigeria, it causes barriers between not only, other countries, but also within citizens of it. Let's say a citizen who is Hausa has a problem with a citizen who is Igbo. It's very likely because there are some things that the Igbo people do that the Hausa people will not tolerate. And it not only applies to Hausa and Igbo people, it also applies to a lot of hundreds of other ethnic groups that I personally do not know about. And sure, I personally think that we should reduce the number of ethnic groups, because the main goal of ethnic groups, I think, is to ensure that a group of people feel have a sense of togetherness. Yes. And I feel like if as a country we feel like that, okay, I'm similar to Mr. Ayo in a way because we're both Nigerians, or I'm similar to Ojonugwa as a Nigerian, then the number of ethnic groups would drastically reduce, in the sense that we have love for not only people that are Hausa or Igbo, but we have love for people that are like, okay, I'm Hausa and he's Igbo, and I love him because he's a Nigerian, and I love you because you're a Nigerian. So that's why I personally think, I just think that while it won't necessarily help, it to just kind of degrade our internal stability in a way.
Ojonugwa, I'm still going to speak on this. There has to be some kind of cohesion, for us to start even talking about one passport. So as a country, we don't have that kind of tolerance. So how do you think it's going to happen with another, how do I put it, continent-wise? How do you think it's going to happen? And we already know that there is no problem without a solution.
Yes, of course.
He has already said something, and that's a valid point. And I repeat, you are the leaders of tomorrow. You would find yourself in some circles where this, your opinion, can actually be implemented. But I don't know how we can reduce the ethnic groups, but I know we can do something. So how can we improve tolerance amongst ourselves as Nigerians and as Africans? Do you think it's possible?
Oh, yes, it's very possible. Anything is possible. Because as there are a lot of ethnic groups in Nigeria. But the thing is, one ethnic group cannot have everything in Nigeria. Mutual benefits is very, 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 very important when it comes to being as one. Like, let's say he's Igbo and I'm Hausa. He can